Now next is a redox titration. So how to remember redox titration? So redox, Re means reduction and OX means oxidation. So oxidation and reduction process are occur simultaneously, which is called redox titrations. So Leo the lion goes there. Okay. So Leo, L for losing, E for electron, O for oxidation. So losing of electron is called oxidations and gaining electron is called reduction. So you have to remember these two words, LEVO and GAIR. LEVO, that means losing of electron oxidations. In oxidation, electron lose, and in reductions, electron gain. Okay. So losing of electron called oxidation, gaining of electron called reduction. There are some another definition we'll discuss in next slides. So as I said that redox means reductions and oxidations. Both the process occur simultaneously. So it is a redox means oxidation and reduction. So one species is oxidized, another is reduced. Okay, so this is a universal truth. And there are three different versions of definitions. So as I said that one is related to electron. So LEO means loss in electron is called oxidation, gain electron is called reductions. Okay, so in oxidation what happened? Electron and hydrogen both are lost and oxygen is gained. In reduction what happened? Oxygen is lost and gaining of hydrogen and electron. So such kind of basic question might be asked and it is a very confusing. So that's why I have you have to remember by this mnemonics, Leo and GAIR. And in oxidation what happened? Only oxygen is gained. In reduction only oxygen is lost, rest two things are gained. So by this way you can remember. So let us quickly revise this thing. Oxygen, in terms of oxygen, what is oxidation and reductions? So as I said that in oxidation oxygen is gained, reduction oxygen is lost. So magnesium is oxidized to magnesium oxides. Same way water is reduced to H plus. Okay, here gain and loss of the oxygen is not O2. It's a simple one oxygen, nascent oxygen we can say. Oxidation reduction as per the hydrogens. So in oxidation what happened? Only oxygen is gained, loss of hydrogen and loss of electron is taking place. So H2O is oxidized to O2. In reduction, gaining of the hydrogen is taking place. So here O2 is reduced to hydrogen peroxides. Same way in case of electron, you can also remember by this way, oil rig. Oil rig means oxidation is losing, reduction is gaining. Okay, so oxidation always lose electron, reduction always gain electron. So magnesium is oxidized to magnesium oxide. So magnesium having a 12 electron, which is lose to 10 by oxidations, and reduction means gaining of the electrons. So O2 is reduced to H2O2 by gaining electron. Okay, so this is in terms of the oxidation reductions. Now this is Nernst equation. So many a time this question was asked. So like this equation is given, you have to identify this is a which kind of equations. Okay, so basically this equation is used to measure the redox potentials. That you have to remember. This equation is used to measure the redox potential, which is called Nernst equations. Okay, so E is equal to E0 minus 0.5092 upon n log by 10 oxidation concentration divided by reduction concentrations. Okay, so this equation basically derived from Gibbs free energy under standard conditions. So what you have to remember these. So whenever the word comes Nernst equation, so you have to remember these one. Now what do you mean by oxidizing agent and reducing agents? So oxidizing agent is a kind of the chemical species that cause other reactant in redox reaction to oxidize and itself is reduced. So in any reaction, oxidizing agent is present, so itself is reduced and make other reactant to oxidize. Same way reducing agent, other reactant present in redox reaction, it should be reduced and itself is oxidized, vice versa. That you have to remember. Now in redox titration, which indicators are used? So self indicator. So I think you have studied many technique like potassium permanganate, iodine, and ferric ammonium sulfate. Okay, so this is called permangometry, where KMnO4 is used as a titrant. Iodo and iodimetry, where iodine used as a titrant, and serimetry titrations we'll discuss in later on, where ferric ammonium sulfate it is used as a titrant. Okay, so these three are called self indicators. So when we are using these as a titrant, no need to add any indicators. And in KMnO4, endpoint is pink to colorless. In iodine, endpoint is brownish to black colors. And in ferric ammonium sulfate, end color is colorless to yellow. Internal indicator means whatever we are using in conical flask before titration, which is called internal indicator. So in redox titration, phenanthrolene blue and methylene blue are used as an internal indicator, as a redox indicator. And external indicator means ferrous ion in dichromate solution shows the Prussian blue color with potassium ferricyanate solutions. So ferrous ion in dichromate, which is called external indicator. Now what do you mean by external indicator? So आपको शायद पता होगा कि whenever you are performing the practical in second semester B Pharm, so you are taking a white color tiles. And whatever the solutions are there in conical flask, you have to take a drop of it and then you have to add external indicator and you have to check the color. So indicator which is add as an external solution, so which is called external indicator. So what you have to remember, which are the self indicators. So potassium permanganate, iodine and ferric ammonium sulfate are self indicator. Phenanthrolene and methylene blue are the internal indicator, and ferrous ion in presence with dichromate solutions, it is act as an external indicator. Now various reagents used in redox titration, various oxidizing agents are there and various techniques it is called. So permanganometry. Okay, so permanganometry where potassium permanganate used as the oxidizing agents. Okay, permanganometry, KMnO4 used as oxidizing agents. So how to perform standardization of KMnO4? So sodium oxalate is used. So here sodium oxalate used as a reducing agent. Indicator, so as we discussed, it is a self indicator. Color change is pink color. Titrant is KMnO4. And what is the application of permanganometry? So detection of the iron, manganese, oxalate, nitrile and hydrogen peroxide determinations. So this is a application of the permanganometry. Okay, so in exam question like which titrant used in permanganometry, which indicator is used? So as you know that it is a self indicator. Standardization of the KMnO4, which chemical is used? So sodium oxalate is used. So such kind of questions are asked. Next is ferric sulfate, ferric ammonium sulfate. So it is again oxidizing agent. So technique is serimetry. It is also called Serret oximetry. Okay, so standardization of ferric sulfate and ferric ammonium sulfate, arsenic trioxide, which is as a reducing agent. Indicator here used is ferroin sulfate, and color change is pink color of the solution change to pale blue to yellowish green. So no need to remember the color change, but only remember the indicator. Like in serimetry, which indicators are used? So ferroin sulfate are used. Standardizations of the ferric sulfate and ferric ammonium sulfate, which chemicals is used? So arsenic trioxide is used. Now what is the application of this serimetry? So main application is to determination of vitamin K3. Okay, now chemical name of the vitamin K3 is menadione. So this question was asked in previous year GPAT. What is vitamin K3? So it is a menadione, and chemically it is the naphthoquinone derivatives. Okay, so serimetry it is used to determine vitamin K3, hydrogen peroxide, iron as well as the ferrous sulfate. But main application is vitamin K3 that you have to remember. Next is dichrometry. So as I said in first or second slide where we learn the primary standard compound. So potassium chromate is also called as a primary standard compound. So no need to standardization because it is in pure form. But still, if you want to perform standardization, so it is done by Morse salt. Now what is Morse salt? So ferrous ammonium sulfate, FAS, which is called Morse salt. It is a stable double salt with ferrous sulfate. Now which indicator used in dichrometry titration? So N-phenyl ethanoic acid, and color change is green to purple. And phenyl anthranilic acid, which is used in dichromatic. And apart from that, some another indicators are used where titration with iron with potassium chromate. So diphenylamine, diphenylbenzidine, and diphenylamine sulfonate. All amine containing indicators are used, and color change are same, green to violet or purple. And basically it is used for estimation of ferrous salt, iodide, and main application is hydroquinone determinations. Okay, so in menaquinone we are using serimetry. In hydroquinone determination we are using the dichromatic titrations. Now next oxidizing agent is iodine. So where two techniques are there, iodometry and iodimetry. So I think you have studied in second semester. So IOD and iodo. So what is the basic difference between that? In iodimetry, direct we have to fill the iodine in burette and directly titrate it. So it is called direct titrations. Iodometry means whatever the iodine Ki we are using, and from Ki it is titrated with sodium thiosulfate, where liberated iodine is titrated with sodium thiosulfate. So Ki and potassium iodate are used in that liberated iodine that is titrated against the sodium thiosulfate, which is called iodometry. So remember well, in iodimetry, direct titration with iodine. In iodometry, indirect titration or liberated iodide is titrated with the sodium thiosulfate solutions. And standardization of iodine is done by arsenic trioxide. It is reducing agents, and indicator in iodimetry is used starch indicator, and color change is permanent blue color is produced. So iodometry, so as I discussed, it is an indirect method. Iodimetry is a direct method. So what happened in iodometry? Indirect determination of oxidizing agent by titration of liberated iodine from iodide such as Ki with standard sodium thiosulfate solution, which is called iodometry. And oxidizing agents such as potassium chromate, KMnO4, ferric salt, copper sulfate are reduced quantitatively when treated with the excess Ki in acidic as well as the neutral medium. So here you have to remember the difference between iodo and iodimetry only, and how to standardize sodium thiosulfate. So for that, potassium dichromate solutions and starch act as an indicators. So potassium dichromate solution used for the standardization of sodium thiosulfate solutions. So this is a basic difference. Iodimetry, it is a direct method of titrations, where analyte and titrants means direct iodine is used and it is formed into iodide. Here what happened, indirect iodometry is an indirect method where analyte react with the iodide and it is formed the iodine. Okay, and liberated iodine again titrate with the sodium thiosulfate solutions. So here analysis of the strong reducing species, here strong oxidizing species is occur. Here titration with standard iodine solution, here titration of the iodine produced by the sodium thiosulfate. That means whatever the iodine is produced from the iodide, it can be titrated by sodium thiosulfate. Here direct titration with iodine is occurred. Here pH is maintained neutral by adding sodium bicarbonate solution. Here sodium thiosulfate is act as a universal titrant for iodine in neutral as well as the acidic condition, where acidic condition is more favorable. Indicator are remain same in both the methods. What are the error associated with iodimetry? So due to iodine, sometime you are using, instead of iodine flash, if you are using normal conical flash, so whatever iodine is there, it should be oxidized to iodide also. So it is an error. Here error is decompositions of the thiosulfate solutions and premature addition of the starch and its decompositions, and where and when iodimetry method is used, so it is used for sulfate, H2S, zinc, mercury, lead, cadmium, cysteine, glucose, and more specifically it is ascorbic acid as well as the vitamin C. So these things, this specific thing you have to remember: glucose, glutathione, cysteine, and ascorbic acid. This thing you have to remember. And Iodometry, it is used for HOCl, means hypochlorous acid, hydrogen peroxide, various iodate, oxygen, bromine, copper, manganese dioxide, tetroxides, nitro groups. So for that we are using iodometry titration. But more specific is ascorbic acid, glutathione, and glucose and cysteine. So in exam questions like which vitamin is titrated by the iodometry titration? So ascorbic acid. Which sugar is titrated by the iodometry? So glucose and other reducing sugar, it can be titrated by the iodometry. Which sulfur containing amino acid titrated by iodometry? So cysteine is a sulfur containing cysteine and glutathione. So sulfur containing amino acid which is titrated by iodometry titrations. Next is iodatimetry, where KiO3 it is act as a titrant. Okay, and this is used for the assay of the benzalkonium chlorides. So benzalkonium chloride, it is a kind of preservative used in eye drops. BKC is used as a preservative in eye drops, phenyl hydrazine hydrochloride and potassium iodide. Okay, so benzalkonium chloride, phenyl hydrazine hydrochloride and potassium iodide, where iodatimetry is used. Titrant is potassium iodide, and standardization of KiO3, it is the same technique as iodometry and iodometry. Sodium thiosulfate and starch solution is used, and colorless to permanent blue is a color change. Next is a potassium bromate, KbRO3. It is called bromatimetry. So again, KbRO3, that is act as a titrant. It is used for the mefenacin drug, phenol, like phenolic solution, alpha naphthol, beta naphthol, resorcinol. So it can be titrated by, or it can be estimated by bromatimetry. And various salicylate, it is again phenolic compound, and some organic arsenicals compound like carbazone are titrated or determined by bromatimetry. KbRO3 is a titrant, and this is same like iodatimetry. And these all are the reducing agents like Morse salt that we have discussed in one of the methods. Ethylene diamine sulfate, Ospert salt, it is also as a reducing agent. Sodium thiosulfate, pentasulfate, pentahydrate, which is used in iodometry, bromatimetry, and iodatimetry. Arsenic trioxide, which is used for standardizations of various standard compounds, and sodium oxalate and oxalic acid. So these all are the reducing agents are used in oxidation reduction.